What's going on, Detroit Lions fans? Welcome back, Detroit Den 313 with Steve. Look, man, it's a good thing we're playing the Tennessee Titans this week because I saw the news that Josh Paschal is officially ruled out for Sunday's game against the Tennessee Titans. And man, this defensive front, this defensive line, these pass rushers are just dropping every other game, it seems like. We already know the story. No Aiden Hutchinson, um, no Josh Paschal now. Davenport's out. Barnes is out. I'm looking to see who's going to step the hell up this week and prove why they have a roster spot because this is the best time for some of these young kids to step into a role and start producing. And not start producing, but maybe have a chance. All right, this is a golden opportunity. No Josh Paschal, who I kind of suspected would be out. Watching that Minnesota Vikings game, there was a couple stoppages where Josh Paschal got injured. So seeing some stuff this week throughout practice, seeing some illness stuff pop up, I thought was a little suspicious because of the previous week against Minnesota where he went down. Now he's officially ruled out, and I'm telling you, it's a good thing we're playing the Titans and we got some time. We got some more time for Brad Holmes to make a move on this defensive line. I think something's coming in the works. I think Brad Holmes cooking up something. I don't think we're going to be looking at a Brad Holmes trade where he gets one player. I think he's going to trade and get a couple of guys, and it might not be a splashy Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, but just we need some depth. Okay, this Josh Paschal injury, like I said, it's a good thing we're playing the Titans, who are selling off right now, and they don't have L'Jarius Sneed playing Sunday. They just traded DeAndre Hopkins. Mason Rudolph's going to be playing quarterback. I think I saw one of their other players is out. I can't think of it off the top of my head, though, but I'll dive into that more in my game day episode. Um, the Tennessee Titans are selling. So that's why I'm saying we're going against a team who's, all right, you might not want to use the word tanking, but they're setting themselves up for the future. Is that a better way to put it? Selling off all their pieces, and they're making some questionable roster moves. And I think the Titans are setting up to try to get into that top 5 in the NFL draft. And that's why I say that this is a perfect opportunity for a player like Mekhi Wingo to step up this week. Okay. Why do I say Mekhi Wingo, step up, those kind of words? This was my favorite draft pick from this past season. Okay. I loved Sione Vaki. Mekhi Wingo was a player I thought would get some reps in production, and he has. He's gotten the reps. This is a game where I think he can produce, okay? Tennessee does not have a great offensive line. I expect Wingo to get a lot of reps this week. If not Wingo, I mean, I'm just pulling up the Detroit Lions depth chart because we're really getting down into it. All right, Pat O'Connor maybe is a guy we see have a good week. Isaiah Thomas, the kid we just snagged from the practice squad of, I think it was the Bengals or the Browns, one of those two. I can't remember off the top of my head. And Isaac Ukwu. I mean, guys, we're really getting into the depth of this defensive line because looking at it, Broderick Martin's still listed on the IR. Kyle Pico, he had the pec injury. Kaminsky's out. Davenport's out. We know Hutch is out. Like we're really at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to defensive line. And if we weren't playing the Titans, I think we'd have a big problem on our hands. I think this is going to be the week we see a Brad Holmes trade because I think we can get by the Tennessee Titans with how they're shaped up. We're still leaps and bounds above Tennessee. And I'm not trying to throw shade. If you guys know the backstory, I'll talk about that more in my game day episode, which will be out. Maybe I'll post that up later tonight or maybe a little Saturday night special. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I'm really just looking at Mekhi Wingo. Okay. I think that this is his first real chance to get into the starting lineup, to get a lot of reps and to produce. Now there's times, I wish I had some clips I could show you guys. There's some times where his athleticism is taking an offensive lineman by surprise. Okay. I've seen him have some really good moves, but then they take him out of the game because he's not one of those core pieces of guy that rotate in. They're just kind of trying to get him some reps. I loved his athleticism. When I did my draft recap show and I was kind of breaking down each rookie individually, I think I still got the marks. I got nailed to the cross when I just kind of brought up the name Aaron Donald and Mekhi Wingo, just because they're similar in a lot of combine stats and they're similar in a lot of the ways their bodies are built. Now, Aaron Donald looks like a bodybuilder. Okay. I'm not going to say that him and Wingo are like a spitting image of each other if they take their shirts off, but just a lot of the ways they're built, their height, their weight, their combine speeds, their 10-yard shuttles, all that stuff was very similar to me. Their explosiveness. I'm not saying that Mekhi Wingo is going to be the same player as Aaron Donald, but we're really just kind of trying to get through this game, guys. And our offense is going to be too much for their defense. I know we still got the best two safeties in football. I'm not worried about the Lions this week, but I am starting to get a little worried about this depth and this pass rush on this D line, because looking at the D tackle position, we're pretty set with DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil. I'm curious to see what happens with Broderick Martin. I know he's been his practice window is open, but he's still listed on the IR. Guys, this defensive line is just, we're putting some Band-Aids on some bullet holes here. And honestly, we're kind of getting into a point for me personally where we can't afford another loss, no matter the name. Okay. Just because we're starting to get to the point where we're throwing bodies out there. So let's get through these Tennessee Titans on Sunday. I think it's going to be, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hendon Hooker in this game earlier and sooner rather than later. I think Hendon Hooker ends up playing the whole fourth quarter, if you guys pick up what I'm putting down. Not a game day episode. I'm just trying to tell you guys, Josh Paschal out. I think Wingo is a player who has to step up. Isaac Ukwu, let's talk about him real quick just for a second. I know he came into that Dallas Cowboys game when Hutch went down, and he's an athletic kid too. And I did an episode on him when they elevated him from the practice squad to the active roster. I'll tag that one at the end of this episode. I had some clips and stuff in there if you guys want to check that out. I like his athleticism too. And he's probably another guy that I can mention in the same breath as Mekhi Wingo, for this is a golden opportunity for you. Okay. This is not a panic episode or anything like that. I'm just telling you, this is a game where I'm trying to be respectful of the Tennessee Titans. This is almost like let's get some guys in there that normally wouldn't get a lot of playing time. I think that's probably the nicest way I can put it. So Isaac Ukwu, Wingo, those are probably the two guys defensively I'm going to be watching this week, because we probably won't get to see them a whole bunch. Probably haven't seen them a bunch already. So these are two of the guys. Keep an eye on for Sunday. Man, we are honestly, I want to know how you guys feel. Do you feel the same as me, where we can't afford another injury on this defensive line? We can't. Like, we are treading water. We're lucky that we have Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph on the back end, but this front seven in front of these linebackers, this defensive line, guys, I'm starting to get a little nervous just because of the boo-boo bugs that's going around. The illnesses, Josh Paschal, like, we're just dropping like flies. Am I overreacting, underreacting? Let me know how you feel about it, because I really think, like, we need to just get through this game, and we can't lose another defensive lineman, or Brad Holmes' hands are going to be forced to do something even more than they already are. And again, I do think a trade is coming. I think Brad Holmes is testing the market. I think he's called a lot of teams. This is just speculation. I think he's called a lot of teams to get the price tag on some players. Don't know who those players are. I know he was interested in Hassan Reddick. I think that's gone. I'm sure there were some other calls made. I'm sure that these other teams have told him, hey, this is what it's going to cost you for player X. I think a move is coming after this Titans game, because we are literally scraping by, guys. Leave some comments down below. Stick around. Hit that like button, guys. I'll be back later with another show. Game day episode. Getting prepared. If you have any questions, drop it in this one. I'll try to answer it in the game day show. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.